Drink more water, or you might die. Now, y'all voted on Twitter. I had a bunch of people, so don't just say this is just me. I had a bunch of people say it. Kendrick Lamar over J. Cole, Denzel Curry, and Eminem. All right, so I had to do it. I gave the people what they wanted. Now, I would be going with a safer release. And when I say safe, I mean an album that I can defend that's easier to consume or digest. One that people have generally accepted as a classic more often than not. Like To Pimp a Butterfly or A Good Kid, M.A.A.D City. But we're going to go with a little bit more of a controversial release as far as people's enjoyment overall of the album and the record. Damn. Now, moving beyond all the endless and countless memes that can be made out of an album cover like this was a pretty good, pretty solid, pretty good, I already said that, album. And I'm only wearing these so that I can take them off in case I see any fuck shit. These aren't for reading, these are for detecting fuck shit. I would say people are a little bit more critical of Damn just because it's Kendrick's most commercial record. It's the one that has the least obvious meaning in my opinion, so it's the one that people can throw around their own assumptions and kind of just assume what Kendrick meant when he said certain things, when in my opinion it just felt like a confused record. I wouldn't say a record that was without focus or without purpose, but a record that seemed, at least to me, by the way of Kendrick describing himself on the album, intentionally confusing. When you go to A Good Kid, M.A.A.D City, it's kind of like Kendrick describing his biography, his bio, where he's from, letting the world of rap know who he really is, knowing that he's about to drop a classic record. With To Pimp a Butterfly, it was a bit more of an outlook for the people, something that you shouldn't be pimped by the industry, you shouldn't be pimped by your surroundings or the world for the most part. He's trying to give people information, give them insight, and let them know how he's felt when it comes to just being pimped in general. But the Damn album seems to be his least certain, least sure, least confident album. The album where we get the least amount of answers out of Kendrick. Now, while this isn't the go-to answer for every person who listened to this record and had an issue with it, in my opinion, I think a lot of people just didn't enjoy it because Kendrick didn't have an answer for them. It didn't really have a solid reason. It was a lot of questions without a lot of answers. And I don't think people are used to that Kendrick Lamar, the one that's a little bit more open, a little bit more vulnerable, and a little bit more expressive with his humanity. Again, that's not the all answer for every person that had an issue with this, but I think a lot of people could benefit from looking at the album in that way. But that's enough of my opinion for the moment of this record. I want to know how people feel about this album. We're going to go into the depths, into the trenches, and look at the reception of Kendrick Lamar's Damn album. Oh shit, that's X videos. Kendrick Lamar. Now, I normally don't go to Pitchfork, but I just want to see what they gave. I'm glad, but I'm shocked. If it's a 9, then I don't really need to read the review. I mean, I don't want to agree the whole time. Could I really be looking at a Kendrick Lamar review video on USA Today? Yep, a damn disappointment. Excuse me. Damn is a return of sorts, a return to the overly dedicated days of Lamar's career, a time when Lamar was a brilliant soul trapped in the body of a bad rapper.
I don't know if this is just them trying to say that Kendrick Lamar wasn't at his best when he made Overly Dedicated.
Perhaps it should make a difference that this imprisonment was self-imposed. Damn seems to be working to satirize many of the worst tropes of rap, that by embodying the spirit of unwarranted self-empowerment, basically, I don't know why you're using this word, and sensitive misogyny, Lamar places himself in a position to criticize them. Boom. You fucking fail. Nevertheless, it's difficult to sustain the listener's interest in satire even over the course of a song. Although Lamar has done it successfully in the past, swimming pools and ADHD, it is nearly impossible to make satire the basis of an entire album. You know, and this is one of the things that always... shut the fuck up. This is one of the things that always got to me about Kendrick Lamar and making this type of rap. And anytime a conscious rapper decides to make dumbed down versions of music, it's like people immediately assume that there's nothing to like about this music that's dumbed down in any way. Like, an artist of Kendrick Lamar's caliber couldn't possibly find interest in a Playboi Carti album. I hope he doesn't, but It's possible. There's a possibility, okay? He just got done working with either Rich the Kid or Famous Dex. I get those two confused all the time. I don't know which one is which. So yes, some of the songs were intentionally done because he wanted to criticize the state of the rap game and the state of the culture in general. But that doesn't mean that because Kendrick Lamar does it over a beat that is trap inspired, that he doesn't like that trap inspired beat, that he doesn't like ad-libbing, that he doesn't like short double time or triplet flows. Mike Dean produced the beat for Humble. Mike Dean produces beats for some of the worst rappers of all time. Now, if you're somebody like me, and you like listening to lyricism, and you like hearing it over a bit more of an interesting beat, not an 80s or a 90s boom bap instrumental where it sounds like somebody replaced the brim of their speakers with a bunch of pillow, where the impact of the bass has literally been ripped out of the speaker so it doesn't knock anything, then going to tracks like Humble and DNA aren't bad tracks to do so. Most problematically, in order to do it, Lamar has to embody a musical style that he never sounds comfortable in. Who don't sound comfortable? Where? Lamar seems to be playing with someone else's sound, even if the intent is to Look, why can't he just like that kind of music? He liked 17, and that was one of the worst albums in 2017 for me, and he liked it. Clearly, we don't have the same taste, Kendrick and I. What does that matter? He acts the role of the influence rather than the influencer. That was the point of the record, to tell people I'm confused, I'm human. There's a fucking song on here, Triple X, where the dude literally tells the person calling him about his son that's just been deceased, hey, I can't help you. If it were my son, I'd fucking kill everyone. Go right up to the judge, be like, bitch, I did that. I'm the one that did it. What don't you people get? The dude isn't trying to say that he wants to be the influencer anymore. He's been done with that. He's tired of it. He's sick of people coming to him for the answers. He doesn't know what to do for his own life. He has a song on here where he asks, is anyone praying for him? He doesn't know what to do. That is the point. The fuck? And Lust all sound like disciples of the Drake school for sing-song. Look, I think I see the problem. We've pigeonholed these conscious rappers, these mumble rappers, these rappers who rap about everything and these rappers who rap about nothing into their category for so long that the second they step out of it, they're instantly compared to, you sound like Drake, you sound like Uzi, you sound like K-Dot, you sound like Cole, you sound like Lil Pump, you sound like Kanye, you sound like Wayne, you sound like you sucking a dick. Is it possible that these artists have been holding back these influences for so long and they finally decided to put them into their own music? Possibly because of some inspiration, maybe because they see a Lil Uzi Vert succeeding using ad-libs for majority of his song and they might want to use some of them too. Not because they want to satirize his sound, but maybe because they actually like what he's doing. We've been reading some fuck shit for too long. I need to take these glasses off so I can use my real eyes to realize these real lies. Give me an L for that. I deserve it. Just go ahead, put it in the comments. Now, I'm not one of those people that thinks because an album was going for confusion that everything on that album was executed correctly, right? I mean, we're a year and a half later and I'm not giving the damn album the same 10 I gave it back when the album initially came out. You know, I've revised that. At the same time, when I hear this writer write, Lamar could never afford to acquiesce to the tropes of mainstream rap because he frankly does not have the raw, unquantifiable star personality of Migos, Drake, fucking J. Cole? It doesn't matter if it's in the name of satire or if it's in an attempt to add nuance to a currently straightforward genre of rap. Damn sounds like the same thing either way. On Feel, presumably about how Kendrick Lamar feels, he evokes Eric Garner's death with such detached intonation that the listener is forced to question for the first time in his career if Lamar actually cares. Now honestly, with Feel, I don't really see Kendrick Lamar's voice being that much different here than I have on most of his records in most of his career. So I don't get why I would question if he cares on this song and not question if he cares on others. Clearly there have been certain songs where he's been a little bit more expressive with his voice, but this one doesn't strike me as so low or uninteresting of a tone that I would actually need to ask myself that question. Damn trades the oddball beats of To Pimp a Butterfly for more conventional production by Mike Will Made It. It trades a cohesive narrative of Good Kid, M.A.A.D City for an unfocused linkage of themes. It trades the general commentary of Section 80 for a selfishly introverted perspective. the album is literally Kendrick's thoughts on these things. They're from no other real perspective. They're just Kendrick for the first time being human musically. Because for the most of his career, people have expected something beyond what a human is capable of. Not trying to say that people thought Kendrick Lamar was some kind of god, but for the most part, they thought that he wasn't supposed to be rapping about things going on with him personally and then showing his confusion about those things. This isn't laziness, these are mistakes. Bless me. There are mistakes that hide his prodigious lyrical ability under the guise of a disinterested voice and unpleasant crooning. You can say that. I'm not gonna fault you for saying you don't like Kendrick Lamar's singing or his crooning. Oh God, please don't misinterpret like one of the most underrated, one of my favorite songs on this album, because I will destroy you. Triple X opens with Lamar presumably rudely woken up by an early hour of the morning, rambling, "I'll ship a little bit of nothing." He proceeds to rap over an instrumental beat around a police siren, a sound that is quite literally designed to be as unpleasant and penetrating as possible. And then, for a moment, you can't start a sentence with "in, bitch." Lamar seems to strip away every unnecessary piece of sonic design over a bass, a keyboard, and drums. For a moment, he just raps, sounding truly comfortable for the first time on the album. America's reflections of me, that's what a mirror does. Lamar owes it to himself to actually add something to the progression of music instead of following Drake and Lil Uzi's occasionally valuable sonic innovations. I mildly agree with this. I think Kendrick, to be held at such a high regard, is nowhere near as influential as someone like a Drake, as someone like a Kanye, as someone like an Uzi. I throw J. Cole into that same conversation. These are artists that, for the most part, a lot of people view as their top 5 artists, but they don't really make other people, repeat them or make other people want to copy them, their flows, their design, their styles. I don't hear many people doing it in rap today, wanting to sound like Kendrick, wanting to sound like Cole, whether it be older versions of them or newer. You're somewhat off the hook, okay, the Harvard Crimson? You're somewhat off the hook. You're right in some instances, and you're totally wrong in some others. But you know what? You put the effort in to give a good review and give your thoughts, and I have nothing but respect for you. But you still a bitch. Oh, and please don't get me wrong. I do not think Kendrick should have won the Pulitzer Prize for Damn. I do not. That was such a fucking ass pull. No. No, Kendrick. Sorry. No. I don't want to have to realize these things. I went into this video so confident. Now I'm not so sure of myself. Hear what critics think about Kendrick Lamar's Damn. I don't give a Tom Brian says it's hard to imagine an album more ambitious than that one, To Pimp a Butterfly, and Kendrick hasn't tried to make one. Instead, he's just made a motherfucking rap album. He's used Damn to show that he is the best rapper we have right now. I feel like this would go over better in context, but even still, it sounds like a totally stupid comment. Luke Morgan, Britain. Triple X does the pretty much unimaginable in producing a Kendrick/U2 collaboration that isn't completely terrible. Dare we say it, it's actually pretty good. There's no guitar solos courtesy of The Edge. Instead, Bono sings about America in drum and bass. Sounds like swing era Robbie. As the song descends into smooth lounge jazz See, this is where I'm just like, does the person writing this even like hip hop? Because it's like, Bono singing about America isn't the highlight of this record. The whole part before that, where Kendrick talks about being a walking hypocrite and not having full control over his emotions when something tragic happens, that's like the influence of the song. But you pointed out Bono singing about I'm imagining Kendrick logging on to social media tonight to check on the internet's response so far, only to find everyone expecting another album in 3 days. Yeah, that shit was crazy. People really thought he was coming out with a double album. Wasn't me. I didn't think that at all. Wasn't me. I never would. Please. I know this is stupid going to Reddit for an opinion, but this person said Damn by Kendrick Lamar is a bad album. So let's see what their justification. Let me start by saying his previous album, Good Kid, M.A.A.D City, is my favorite rap and overall song album of all time. you need to listen to some more music. His lyric style and beat were absolutely phenomenal, and nearly every single song on that album was extremely successful. My literal 10 out of 10 record. However, I think Damn is a lackluster album with awful lyrics, average to decent beats, and okay style. And I don't just dislike Damn because it wasn't as good as Good Kid, M.A.A.D City, or I had high expectations. I just thought that the album was shit and the motives were terrible. Fuck you too. First off, the only two popular songs in the entire album was DNA and Humble, because I Should See Memphis off the Fleet Foxes' most recent album, Crack Up, wasn't the most popular on the album. I guess that shit was horrible. I can't enjoy that, my guy. DNA was okay in my opinion, but Humble was atrocious and didn't deserve any sort of recognition, and in fact, the complete opposite. So let me address this in my next point, being the lyrics. Good Kid, M.A.A.D City was a retelling of Kendrick Lamar's intense struggles with growing up in Compton. I'm assuming this is a kid that never grew up in Compton either. He talks about his experiences. Let's skip all over this. That was an amazing formula. Damn now focuses on his success in the music industry and his honest opinions on his success and his position in popular culture, which really upsets me. If you really thought that's what Damn was about, listen to it again, you bitch. Humble is the best example of this. No, it's not. While bragging is nothing new when it comes to hip-hop, Kendrick uses it in the way that he knows he's the best. You literally just said you understood that bragging was a big part of hip-hop, and now you're chastising Kendrick Lamar for bragging that he's the best in a genre where you just said bragging is a big part of it. But let's continue. I think I need my fuck shit glasses for this. In the song, he talks about how the people need to sit down and be humble, all while saying he's become the top dog in the hip-hop industry. He delivers his lines in a way that he thinks he makes the rules and calls the shots. I mean, he is an amazing rapper, but it's not like he was elected to do and say this kind of thing. No one would be elected to do or say this kind of thing. That's why people can freely say it. If it was something that had to be elected or you needed to be put in this position by an authority or by the group of the people, then that would be a thing. Since no one is able to single-handedly put you in that position, you have to claim it. So you're going to hear rappers at some point saying that they're the best, everybody else is shit, I'm here now. They're just gonna find a different way to do it. What the fuck, man? He just does it because he knows he's successful, and recognizing and talking about your own major success is the exact opposite of humble. Well, I think it's because Kendrick Lamar has spent the most time in his career being humble, not really saying that he is the best of anything. I mean, the first time we really got Kendrick Lamar saying that he was the best rapper was a feature on Isaiah Rashad's The Sun's Tirade and another on his single, The Heart Part 4. Before that, Kendrick Lamar wasn't walking around saying, I'm the best rapper alive, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. He really wasn't. His message is essentially that he was born to be the greatest rapper of our modern time, and it just bothers me too much to enjoy it. No, baby, what is you doing? Here's another one. I feel like all he's trying to do is send a message. You don't say. Listen, I'm totally cool with rapping about the injustices of being a black man or a black woman in this day and age. I'm glad they have your permission to rap about their injustices. Thank you, Connor. I'm just assuming that's your name. I encourage it. It's great to see. Thank you for your backing, dude. God damn, the Reddit threads are fucking crazy. Now I know I don't go here, but that doesn't mean I have to love it just because he's rapping about progressive topics or the plight of being colored in our society. I didn't know racism. I didn't know these were like progressive topics. Facts of the matter is, when I listen to music, I want to hear bangers. Well, sorry, fucking guy. There are many artists that are making banger material, and every time you listen to a piece of art, it's just like watching a TV show. Do you watch all TV with the expectation of being entertained, or do you want to get information at some point in your life? Maybe you're not at that stage, but maybe you'll get there. All in all, I don't want to make it seem like Kendrick Lamar's Damn record is a perfect body of work, because it certainly is not, and there are improvements that could be made upon it. But for the most part, I feel like people are so stuck on the fact that Kendrick Lamar is making these titles of these songs so important that he actually has to have the information about all of them. And while you would expect that before listening to each track, to realistically think that he's going to tackle all these things in the correct manner each and every time is very what's the word? It's fucking crazy. And I think that just goes to paint Kendrick Lamar as an even more relatable human being when he's talking about things that he's confused about, that he's sad, happy, angry about, it just makes him come off a little bit more relatable, in my opinion. Maybe he doesn't accomplish that with this album, but that was the intent. It's not trying to give you this deep psychological message or anything like that. And I really hate when people think that the whole beginning of that one song where he's talking about being a black Israelite and telling people that this is a result of, our current state as a result of God's punishment or something like that. This is literally Kendrick Lamar being confused again on the album, on the record. He's not stating this as a fact. He's literally just saying, this is something that I'm viewing as a possibility because no one else is really giving me any answers. Fuck, I'm going to my cousin for information right now. He's preaching to me about this shit, and I'm kind of indoctrinating it because I don't know what else to do. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. This is discombobulated. It's whatever. I'm not correcting myself, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Enjoy this cut off of Fleet Foxes while I walk away. Okay? Okay? Bye.